Hi, my name is Caroline Sinisa-Levine. I'm a career expert with Six Figure Start, career coaching by former Fortune 500 recruiters. As a former recruiter, I have hired thousands of people in financial services, management consulting, media, pharma biotech, technology, and nonprofit. I co-founded Six Figure Start to bring my insider knowledge of the hiring process to job seekers. This video is sponsored by Exec, a global community for job seekers with job postings, company information, and job search resources. In this video, I'll share strategies that graduating MBAs should implement right away to get a job. A key strategy that graduating MBAs should do right now is to map your activity and timetable. You know when you're going to graduate, so you can schedule your calendar in reverse to include the activities that you need to get done and the deadlines by which you need to do them. When I recruited MBAs and I would talk to current students, it was very clear who was on top of their job search and who wasn't. There were people who had already spoken to other people, had already researched companies, already had opportunities in play. These students were clearly taking their job search as seriously as they would any class. You really want to build in time for your job search like it's a class, and you want to build in those deliverables like papers and exams. You want to build in those activities that you want to get done by specific deadlines. You need to know that the bulk of your time is going to be spent on networking and interviewing. So as you look at how much time you have to spend between now and when you want to get a job, you want to reserve the most time for those activities, which means you want to have your marketing done, you want to have your research done well in advance so that you can save as much time as possible for networking, for interviewing, for getting through the process, and negotiating those offers. You also want to be aware of on-campus and off-campus activities. On-campus activities include the companies that are going to be hosting information sessions, that are going to be visiting your school and interviewing students right on campus. You want to be aware what all the deadlines are for submitting your resume for consideration and when all the events are. But then you also want to look at your wish list of dream companies and see who's not coming. And this is where off-campus comes in. You can't expect that every company or every role that you're interested in is going to happen to be served by on-campus recruiting. So you've got to save some time to do some of the research and the legwork on your own. You also want to be aware of when you do your best work. So if you're a morning person, reserve that time for researching companies and really analyzing where you might be a fit, for writing those cover letters, all of those activities where you have to do some hard thinking. If you're a night owl, you want to reserve the evening time for that. And you want to reserve both business hours and outside of business hours. Outside of business hours, you can do things like network with personal family and friends. You can do your research, you can do your marketing, but you need to have time during the business hours to get those business networking meetings and those job interviews done. This means two things. You want to know what you personally are looking for. So what role you want to play, what you want to be doing day to day, what companies you're interested in working for, what industry you're interested in playing in. You want to know your target compensation, the lifestyle you want, if a company is big or small, if it's going to be established or a startup. On the other hand, you want to know what companies are looking for. They're looking for, well, who can I pawn these responsibilities off to? Who can get me the results that I need? Who can I afford and who would fit into this company culture? So at the same time that you're looking for something, the company is looking for something. You want to be able to match what you're personally looking for in terms of industry, role, compensation, lifestyle, etc., with what the market will bear and what the market is looking for in terms of responsibilities, results, culture, and whether or not they can afford you. Design your story. So design means that you're deliberate and you're proactive about what you include and what you don't include. Your means that it's specific to you. So these are things that you've actually done and things that you actually care about. and story, because this is conversational. This is not about a pitch. This is not about a marketing message. This is a story that's engaging and compelling to the listener, in this case, your prospective dream company. So you want to design your story, and I don't just mean in the sense of tell me about yourself, that famous first interview question, or walk me through your career, or why should I hire you. You're going to be including your story in your resume, in your cover letter, even in those short cover emails that you send asking for an informational interview. You're also going to be sharing your story so that other people can share it with others. You're going to be sharing a networking pitch so that other people can repeat your story and introduce you to other people. You want to know the story that your family and friends will hear and will share, so that when they hear opportunities, they think of you and they know how to refer you. A lot of job seekers think they need to do something extraordinary just to get noticed. But if you talk to recruiters, including myself, you will see that it's the basics that enable a candidate to stand out. And 3 of the most overlooked basic things that a candidate should establish are: 1, do I fit in with the company culture? 2, can I be put in front of a senior client? And 3, am I likable? So do you fit in with the company culture? You're going for a specific role in a specific industry, but there are a number of different companies that you can work for. A company is going to want to be sure that you fit in with their culture specifically. They're going to feel like their culture is unique. The second point about being put in front of a client has to do with dress, with eye contact, with how much you articulate, with how much you can engage. A lot of job seekers will sort of dismiss some of these aesthetic qualities, but you've got to realize that 80% of your message is communicated non-verbally, and what prospective employers are looking at are, can I put this person in front of my clients, my vendors, my consultants, my colleagues, and feel comfortable that they're going to represent us in a good way? Are you likable? Are you engaging? We all want to like the people that we work with. We all want to have fun coming to work. There are going to be other qualified candidates with similar skill and expertise. So at the end of the day, a lot of times it comes down to which person had good energy, which person really wanted to be here, which person did I like. Another key strategy that graduating MBAs should implement to get a job when they graduate is to stay resilient. The job search is a marathon, but also a series of sprints. So it's a long-term process, but along the way, there are going to be a number of high-stakes events that you're going to be preparing for. A specific job interview, a callback, an offer negotiation, a big meeting with someone who can refer you perhaps to other people. You want to practice in performance conditions, so you don't want your real interview to be the first time that you're actually interviewing. Take advantage of career services or other resources, whether it's a coach or a mentor, and actually practice a mock interview, or practice an offer negotiation, or practice an informational interview where you request additional contacts. You also want to reserve time to troubleshoot along the way. If you are not getting interviews, if you're not getting called back, if you're getting to the callback, but then you're not getting hired, you want to mark these things as they're going on, and you want to get help as needed, whether that's from career services or a coach or a job search buddy that you're working through your search with. You want to make sure you don't get to your deadline, your graduation date, without a job, without looking back first and saying, what were the things that I'm doing along the way, and how can I tweak them and refine them now before they become a problem later on? Part of resilience is keeping multiple options in play. So I call this wash, rinse, and repeat. You want to make sure that your job search includes multiple companies and that you're pursuing multiple industries and perhaps even multiple roles. And so you want to make sure that all of these activities are layered on top of another so that you're not so dependent on any one opportunity coming through. This is Caroline Sinisa-Levine, career expert and co-founder of Six Figure Start. This video is sponsored by Exec, a global community for job seekers with job postings, company information, and job search resources.